Once there was a queen who had 12 sons and another child on the way, when she saw a beautiful red flower and, wishing for a daughter, plucked it from its vine. An old woman with feathers in her hair appeared. "You will have the daughter you wished for, but all of your sons will disappear." That night, the king fell deep into madness and said, "If this child is a girl, then all 12 of her brothers must die. That way, she alone can inherit the entire kingdom." And he had 12 coffins made, with 12 pillows put in, and ordered the queen to silence. Their youngest son, Benjamin, overheard everything and ran to tell his brothers. "We must take care of ourselves now," he said, wiping away the tears. That night, the 12 brothers escaped from the castle, just as the queen gave birth and the blood-red flag went up, announcing it was a girl. Cursing their sister, the 12 brothers ran, fast as they could, deep into the woods. Meanwhile, the child grew up into a beautiful young girl, born with a star on her cheek. But she never knew of her 12 brothers. The king died soon after she was born, and the queen never spoke of them again. One day, while playing, the girl found 12 shirts hidden in a room. Taking them to her mother, she asked, "Who do these belong to?" The queen would not say. When the girl asked again, the queen finally said, "Your 12 brothers." "12 brothers?" said the girl. "Why have I never heard of them?" Weeping, the queen told her everything. When the girl learnt how they'd suffered, her heart ached with pain. "I must find them, if it's the last thing I do." "No," cried the queen. "The woods are too dangerous. I won't lose you too." But the girl could not forget her brothers. Every night she dreamed of them, lost and cold in the woods. Until, one moonlit evening, she took the 12 shirts and ran away to find them. She wandered in the woods for days, until she met an old woman with feathers in her hair and asked her if she'd seen her 12 brothers. "No," said the old woman, "but if you go where the moss grows on all sides of the trees, you may find what you're looking for. But beware, these woods are bewitched." The girl thanked her and walked deep into the heart of the woods. At last, she came upon a little house in a dark, mossy grove. Inside was a table set with 12 little plates and 12 little cups on it. Upstairs was a room, but the door was locked, so the girl used the bone of her little finger for a key. When the door opened, she found 12 little beds and 12 little pillows. She went back downstairs. There was a young boy cooking dinner. "Who are you?" he said. "I'm looking for my 12 brothers," said the girl, "and I'll go as far as the sky is blue to find them." Then she showed him the 12 shirts. The boy recognized his and cried, "I'm Benjamin, your brother." Both wept with joy, just as Benjamin realized his brothers would be home soon. "You can't stay here. Our brothers spend all day hunting in the woods now and no longer know themselves. If they find you here, they'll kill you too." The girl's heart filled with sorrow. "I cannot let them live in such hate." So she hid in a cupboard just as the brothers came home and saw they had blood on their lips and wild feathers tangled in their hair. After the brothers ate their dinner and went to bed, the girl slipped out of the cupboard and went upstairs, opening the door again with her little finger. As her brothers slept, The girl cleaned the blood from their cheeks, combed the feathers from their hair, and tucked them in with their old shirts. Stirred, the brothers awoke, startled to find a young girl in their room. But when they saw the star shining on her cheek and felt the sleeves of their old life warm on their arms, they said, "We must be dreaming," and fell back asleep. The next morning, after the brothers left to go hunting, the girl helped Benjamin keep house all day. At night, she hid again, gently caring for her brothers as they slept. Every night she did this, until one evening, over dinner, Benjamin asked the brothers if they'd heard the news. "No, what news?" said the brothers, bones cracking in their teeth. "I forgot, you were hunting all day. Never mind, let's just eat." "You can't do that," said the brothers. "You must tell us, all right?" "Only if you promise there'll be no killing here tonight." "Fine, we promise. Now tell us the news, we insist." "All right," said Benjamin. "Our sister is here, hiding in the cupboard." The brothers jumped for blood, but Benjamin reminded them of their word, then slowly opened the door. When they saw the beautiful girl with the star on her cheek from their dreams, the brothers were overjoyed and began to weep. That night, the 12 brothers made a 13th bed for their little sister, and kissing the star on her cheek, vowed always to love her and never be parted again. Alas, one day, the girl found 12 beautiful white lilies growing beneath the trees, and wanting them for her brothers, picked them all. When she did this, the grass withered and decayed. The house vanished in a puff of smoke. All the moss on the trees turned grey, and overhead there was a dark, fluttering echo. The girl looked up and saw 12 black ravens flying into the sky. When she looked down again, the 12 beautiful lilies had all died. The old woman with feathers in her hair appeared. "My child, what have you done? Why did you not leave the flowers alone? Your brothers have all become ravens now." "I didn't know," cried the girl. "Please, there must be some way I can bring them back." "There is," sighed the old woman, "but you couldn't possibly do it. You're just a little girl. What do you know about courage and perseverance?" But the girl pleaded, "If there is a way to free my brothers, only tell me what it is." "All right. For the next 7 years, you must neither speak, nor smile, nor laugh, not even for 1 minute, until all 7 years have passed. All the while you must work and weave 12 new shirts made of starflower wreaths. If you fail, your brothers will be doomed as ravens until the day they die." The old woman disappeared, and without a word, the girl began. She gathered starflowers all that night and the next day, wove until her fingers bled. So the years passed, and only once did she see 12 black ravens flying overhead, her lips silent, but her eyes shining with joy at the sight of them. One day, a handsome, gentle prince was hunting in the woods and saw the girl. Enchanted by her beauty and silent weaving, he fell in love and wanted to marry her. "Sweet maiden, won't you come to my castle and warm your feet?" The girl said nothing, but nodded silently, as the prince gathered her on his horse and carried her away. But the prince's mother did not approve. "Please, who knows what godless secrets she's hiding?" The prince did not listen. At last, one night, just before the 7 years were over, the prince's mother followed the girl as she went to gather her last starflowers. Catching her under the moon, the prince's mother quickly called her son over. "See! Told you she was a witch and a proper little nutter." The prince begged. "Please, tell me you're innocent." But the girl said nothing and was sentenced to death. But she managed to finish the shirts after sewing all night, carrying them with her as they bound her to a stake the next morning. The prince wept bitterly as the fire was lit, just as the 7 years ended. But then the girl looked up and saw 12 black ravens soaring overhead. "A witch's trick!" yelled the prince's mother. "Hurry up and fan the flames!" But the ravens swooped down, tearing their sister from the stake. Freed, she threw the star shirts in the air, turning her brothers human once again. The spell now broken, black feathers fell like angels to the earth as the girl shone with all the light of the universe. Telling the prince everything, the girl wept in a river of joy as the prince listened, speechless, to the music of her voice. The next morning, a grand wedding was celebrated, and everyone in the kingdom invited, except the prince's mother. She was thrown into a barrel of poisonous snakes, where she stayed 7 years, mending her wicked ways. Meanwhile, the girl, her prince, and her beloved 12 brothers lived happily, ever after.